Hello everyone, it's Liddy and welcome back to my channel. So today, as you can see in the title, I have a manga unhaul video. I know you guys like these videos. I'm not really sure why, but I also really like unhaul videos and seeing what people are disliking and unhauling in their collection as well. So I'm really happy that you guys also enjoy this and aren't too offended about the choices that I make in my manga collection. I'm one of those people who don't really like keeping series if I didn't enjoy them or if I've read through them and I felt like it's not worth keeping in my collection. I have quite a large collection now and I can't manage to keep everything in here, and there's always more things that I want to buy, so I'm always quite picky with what I keep in my collection and what I also get rid of. So yeah, so we have a manga unhaul today. As you might see, I am kind of in like the same kind of outfit that I was in some of my other videos, mainly because I have actually filmed a ton of videos today, so that's probably why. So if I look the same, it's not just because I always look like this, it's because I filmed some videos in the short span of today. So yeah, let's get into the unhaul. Alright, so the first series that I'm planning to get rid of is Young Ladies Don't Play Fighting Games. So I have volumes 1, 3, and 4, and I'm planning to get rid of them. Okay, so initially when I first read the volume 1, I actually really enjoyed it, mainly because it had like a lingo that I could understand, because it was about fighting games and I could kind of relate because I played fighting games before, obviously like Street Fighter and Tekken. I'm not very good at them, but I have played them before, so it was quite cool to see that kind of, you know, references in this manga. And I thought it was really cool, and then I read volume 1, I really liked it, and then I found volume 3 and 4 in Forbidden Planet, and then I picked them up. But at the time, volume 2 was like nowhere to be seen, and I waited ages for volume 2 to come back in stock for a good price, and I couldn't find it. So I ended up kind of not reading the series, or like I kind of forgot about it, and then it's been like maybe a year since I read the first volume, and I just don't have any attachment to this series anymore like I did when I initially read it. Yeah, that's why I'm getting rid of them. Like, the story itself was really fun when I initially read it, but I just don't feel like I'm really motivated to want to read this or collect this anymore, so that's why I'm getting rid of it. But I think if you are like into Street Fighter, Tekken, or those like fighting games, I would definitely recommend you try this. You might really enjoy it. So yeah, that's why. And the next series I am getting rid of is A Home Far Away. So this one kind of pains me a little because this volume is actually very expensive now to get. Not expensive now, but like it's just a general expensive volume. It's by Kuma imprint, so their quality of volumes are really good, but they are very expensive. So the reason why I'm getting rid of this, and this might have spoilers, but personally for me, I kind of got emotionally spoiled by this series. When I said that I wanted to read it, I wanted to read it mainly because this author is the person who did the person who did the art is the person who did Yakuza Bias, and I absolutely loved the artwork in that. So I was like, I want to read a manga that's by them as well, the artwork. So I found this one, and then I was like, ooh, this one was done by the same person who did Yakuza Bias. I really want to read it. And then someone actually was like, oh, be careful, it's like really tragic and dark and stuff like that. And for me personally, if someone tells me like trigger warnings and tells me that they like either got really sad or cried or like emotionally like what they felt when they read it, other than like I really enjoyed it, then for me that kind of alters my opinion of the story going forward. So for me, if someone says this is really tragic, really sad, then I'm gonna expect something really horrible to happen, and that's all I'm gonna think about. So it kind of spoils that for me, because obviously I went into this thinking it was going to be super dark, super sad, and it was. The themes in here are really dark, but for me, I rather go into a series blind. I don't want to know so many things about it. Sometimes obviously like trigger warnings are really really useful and helpful for people, so there is like a website where you can check trigger warnings. So I think I'll link it down below, but there is a website where you can, you know, check trigger warnings if you are in need of those. So I think they're really helpful, but for me personally, I don't really tend to want to know about those kind of things. And so for me, when I read this, I was like, yeah, this is dark, but for some reason I expected to be more sad. Obviously everyone said it was sad, and then when I went in there I was like, okay, I know something sad's coming, and that's kind of like constantly in my head. So it kind of emotionally like dampens my enjoyment of this series, or like my reactions to the series, because I already knew going in that something bad was going to happen. So I kind of predicted that it was going to have a unhappy ending, it was going to have a sad ending because of like the way people talked about it. So I think that definitely hindered my, you know, enjoyment of it, as well as like the shock factor of it, because, you know, it's not as shocking anymore because I knew something bad was going to happen. So that's why I didn't enjoy this much, and I will probably give it away or sell it because it wasn't enjoyable for me, and I don't think I will ever reread it. And then another BL that I'm getting rid of is Secret XXX. This one is by Meguru Hinohara. This one is the prequel to Therapy Game, and I still haven't read Therapy Game because I didn't really enjoy Secret XXX. Like, it's really annoying because this series has a lot of hype, and I know a lot of people say that this maybe not be the best one, but Therapy Game is really really good. And I actually have a few volumes of the Therapy Game series, but I haven't started it because that one focuses on like characters, like side characters in this one, and I personally didn't enjoy this that much. So yeah, I don't know, it was for me, I think the story was too short. I have trouble connecting with stories when they're only like one volume. It really has to be good for me to enjoy it if it's one volume. And it was really like weirdly sexual. Like, it's quite explicit, and I'm not averse to like explicit content, but it just felt weird. I don't know, it didn't feel right, like the way the story unfolded. And I feel like the development of the relationship was really quick, obviously because it's a one shot, and so I didn't like connect to the characters, I didn't root for them either. So I'm getting rid of this. I will definitely try Therapy Game Restart. I'll probably read it during Pride Month, but there's just so much hype for this series, and I don't know if other people who love Therapy Game Restart or Therapy Game don't like this either, but I didn't really like it, and I hope that I do enjoy Therapy Game if I get to it one day. And the next series I'm getting rid of, this one's quite sad, but I'm getting rid of Cat Gamer. Yeah, so the thing about Cat Gamer is that I do find this really enjoyable and quite relatable because I own cats, and for me, I don't know, it was like too, like, I love cats and all, but I felt like the storyline was too simple for me. And I know, like, oh yeah, I love slice of life stuff, but I don't know, I enjoyed it, but I didn't love it. And I know that's weird because I own cats and I love my cats, and I do usually like cute manga, but I don't know, it just didn't like it. I didn't love it as much as I thought I would love it, because obviously, you know, I have cats, so I should love it, right? But I just didn't, and I don't think I'll reread it. And I'm not like burning to get the next volumes that are coming out, so that's why I felt like I would want to give this to someone who really wants the series or who really really enjoys the series. And yeah, maybe I just like love cats, but I don't always love reading about cats. I don't know, but if you have a cat and you're a gamer, then you can definitely relate to this. Like, I could as well, but it wasn't for me anything. I didn't love it. I don't know, I feel really bad for saying it because I have cats. I feel so bad. But yeah, I don't know. It's, yeah, I'm getting rid of it. And these, all the ones that I've been talking about, will be up on my Vinted. So check out down below if you have Vinted, and you can get these for cheap. I'm literally selling them for like £3 per volume. So yeah, really good. I had to get my cat after I said that I didn't like the cat manga because I felt really bad. So here's my cat. I love him. Just because I didn't like the cat manga doesn't mean I don't love my cats, okay? Don't hate me. Alright, On to the next one. So the next one I'm getting rid of is Alpi the Soul Sender. So I actually read this recently, actually this month, and I'm getting rid of it already because I don't know, I don't really think it was that amazing. It was quite like slow paced. It's basically about a girl, a little girl who basically when people kind of are at the end of their life, sometimes they turn into like these like terrible, they have like they get these terrible curses, and then she is the one who is able to like lift the curses off these people and then send them to, and then basically be able to send them to the afterlife. So that's what she does, and we follow this girl who kind of travels to these different neighborhoods, and then she finds these curses and then sends their souls away to the afterlife by getting rid of the curses. And it was very slow paced. Also, I don't know, I didn't feel very much attachment to this series at all. I felt like it could have been more exciting, but I don't know, maybe it's just me. But I didn't love it as much. It's one of the things when I read a volume and it has to like really grip me and then make me want to really read the next volume. That's when I know like a series is good. And for me, I just didn't have that pull. So yeah, I'm getting rid of it. But it's really pretty. The art style is really nice as well. It wasn't bad at all, but it just wasn't something that I want to continue reading or keep in my collection. And on the same publisher, Titan Manga, I have Witch of the Thistle Castle Volumes 1 and 2. I'm getting rid of it mainly because it's freaking confusing, this story. I was reading and I was like, what is going on? I don't know if it's just me and my small brain, but I was like, this is weird. The pacing is really weird. It kind of jumps all over the place. I didn't really understand what I was reading. Like, I read 2 volumes of this and I was like, what am I reading? I don't understand. The style of art is stunning. It's really pretty. Like, it's quite simplistic, but it's still very pretty. But the thing is, it's basically about this teenager. So it's basically about this teenager who has like this really dangerous like ability or something, and it's like kind of like something that's awakening inside him, and people are trying to protect him obviously. So it gets kind of taken in by this witch whose name is Mary, and she just kind of wants to live a quiet life, but then she ends up getting custody of this boy, and then it kind of her and him trying to protect the world basically. And there's some like weird power inside him that's like growing and about to come out, so she needs to kind of prevent that. And then they kind of meet people along the way who I also don't really understand that part either. And then I don't know, like, see, I don't even know what I read, and I read this month, so I'm a bit like, yeah. So for me personally, I didn't really enjoy this. I read it, I was so confused, so I wouldn't recommend it either. I also talked to someone else on the dudettes who read this and was also like, they were really confused and said that the pacing was weird, so I don't think it's just me. But yeah, I'm getting rid of both these volumes as well. And then the next one I'm getting rid of is Lynx by Natsuki Kizu. This is the person who did Given. I've actually only read like 1 volume of Given, and I'm contemplating whether to even continue that series as well. I haven't been reading a lot of BL because all the BL that I've read I haven't really enjoyed, and I think it's because they've all been kind of one shots, and I don't feel emotional attachments to characters in one shots unless it's really really good. And so that's why I personally don't think I'll enjoy this. I heard a lot of people say that they love Given, but they thought this was crap, like it was boring, so that's why I'm also really not interested. And it's quite thick, and I'm like, do I want to invest my time into reading this? I don't know. And I also think it's not about like a specific person. I think it's about like a collection of stories of like different people, and already I have trouble emotionally connecting to characters in one shots, so in collection of short stories is not really my thing unless it's like really fun. Yeah, I just don't want it in my collection anymore. I don't think I'll ever get to it. It's not on my priority to read, so I'm gonna get rid of it. Alright, so the next series I'm getting rid of is Crossplay Love. This one, I actually really enjoyed this. I thought it was quite funny, but then I didn't really have the urge to pick up any more volumes, and I felt like there are other series that I really, really love that I would, or really excited about, that I would rather spend my money on. And a lot of people really enjoy this, and a lot of manga tubers on here, and I did enjoy it, but I don't think it was like, I didn't love it and I wasn't like amazed by it. And it's just a fun series, but I don't think I'll buy any more volumes. If I do, I would probably read it online. So that's why I am not purchasing any more of this, and I will just get rid of my one volume that I have and give it to someone who actually wants to read it and enjoy it. And the next one is all 5 volumes of The Dark History of the Reincarnated Villainess. This one, I read like the first 2 volumes and it was okay. It was quite dense in terms of like the dialogue is very dense, the story is quite dense, but it's basically about a girl who writes like a own story. So she has like a story that she's writing, and then she gets reincarnated into her story, but then she reincarnates as the villainess in that story, and then it just kind of follows that. But I personally didn't love it as much, and I know like Caitlyn's also, who is really into villainous isekai, also said this is definitely not one of her favorite villainous isekais. So she also said it wasn't like amazing, but she obviously still collects it and enjoys it because it is villainous. And for me, that's not really a reason to keep it personally for me, so I'm gonna get rid of it. And yeah, I hope someone else will enjoy it. But I got all the 5 volumes because I got these for quite cheap. I found a lot of them in the sale section, so that's why I grabbed like a bunch, but I didn't really love it or enjoy it. So yeah, I don't know, I thought it was just a little bit plain. There are better villainous isekais out there that I really enjoy, so I'd rather make space for those ones. Alright, so those are my physical volumes, and now I'm going to talk about some of the stuff that I read and have already gotten rid of. So the first one that I've already gotten rid of is Ladies on Top. That one is a steamship manga by 7Seas. I'll put a screenshot of what it looks like. Basically, I loved the first volume because it really focused on like gender roles and how you don't have to conform to a certain gender roles in your relationship if you are comfortable about talking about, you know, what you're comfortable with and what you like in an intimate setting. And so I thought that was really cool and really nice because it really delved into like how, you know, women are seen as submissive in the bedroom, but that doesn't have to be that way, and men are also the ones that have to like lead in that intimate setting, and then they have to be the ones to take charge kind of thing. And it kind of broke those boundaries in that sense, but then it really fell off. I read up to all the volumes that I had, which was like 5 volumes, and I was like, it started getting really childish. Okay, this is spoilers as well. I started getting really childish. They started having like miscommunications, and as well as like jealousy issues, and then also just like fighting about stuff that is just irrelevant. And it's like, you guys are grown ass adults and you're like being really childish. And they also kept bringing in like people to mess with the relationship. So there was this guy that came in that started, like a guy at work that started hitting on the main girl, and then she ends up starting to get confused like if she likes that guy, and it was like, what the heck, like you're in a relationship, that's weird. And then there also happened where like the guy's ex came into the picture, and then she was trying to steal the guy, and then also like to kind of force herself on him, which is like, first of all, that's like assault, that's not good. And yeah, it just was like stupid stuff kept happening to like make drama and then get in the way of the main couple, which really annoyed me. So yeah, I didn't like that. If you want to read like a more fun and healthy depiction of an adult relationship, I'll definitely read Sweat and Soap. That one did it like so much better, and it was really good. That one, I think that one was way better than Ladies on Top, and Ladies on Top was just disappointing. And also, it's supposed to be a steamship, and it wasn't that steamy in my opinion, and there wasn't a lot of smut, which most women want when they're reading like steamy romances. So yeah, that was like disappointing. I wouldn't recommend that one for sure. And then the next one I got rid of was Sugar Apple Fairy Tale. I'll link it here below. I did not like that one. like I started watching the anime and I thought the anime was really pretty. So if you are like looking to try, I would definitely go the anime route. But the themes in Sugar Apple Fairy Tale for me is not it. Like she's kind of like 15. She's already very young, and then she ends up wanting to go to this like candy making festival because her mom was like a candy maker weaver thing, and it brings about like really good like magical energy to like fairies. And so she wants to enter the competition to become like the sugar making thing. I don't remember what it's called. She needs protection to get through like her travels and her land, so she ends up buying a slave. That in itself is weird. Anyways, that happens, but then she ends up like they end up traveling together, and she's only 15. She's super immature as well. So obviously she's immature because she's 15, but it's just like annoying to read about. I didn't like her character. And then I think there's also like a developing relationship between her and the fairy, but the fairy is like 100+ years old because fairies live for a long time. So then it's like that Edward Cullen Twilight thing all over again, where like Bella falls in love with a vampire, but Edward is like hundreds and hundreds of years old. So there's like a really weird thing there, but it's also like the fact that he's a slave, and then there's like a slave times master romance. For me, if I was younger, that would totally be my thing. I'd be like, yeah, I love like toxic relationship. But the thing is, the story itself was boring and it wasn't fun, so I didn't enjoy it. And the art style, no offense, but the art style is not good. I did not like the art style for the manga, so I would not recommend it. If you are into like that kind of thing, like the way I described it, definitely check out the anime. The anime is stunningly beautiful. That storyline just isn't for me though, and it's okay if you enjoy it. Like I don't think anyone who reads that kind of thing condones it in real life, obviously, so you know, you can separate fiction from reality, so that's completely fine. But personally, I didn't enjoy it, and I'm gonna get rid of the manga. Oh, and I already got rid of the manga, so yeah. And then the next one I got rid of was The Summer of You. I'll put the picture here. It's by this Nagisa, something like that. It's a BL series about two high school friends, and then one of them ends up confessing to his friend, saying that he's liked him this whole time, and it kind of starts the story from there. I started reading it and I got bored. Like, I don't know, it's really horrible to say, but I found it so boring, and I got halfway and I was like, this is so boring. So I ended up just closing the volume and was like, yeah, I'm not gonna try my hardest to get through it. And it's like one volume and then another volume, and they're quite thick volumes as well, so I was a bit like, oh, it's a bit dragging on. So I couldn't even force myself to read through it. So yeah, I got rid of that. Sorry if you all like it. And then another, so I'm getting rid of a lot of BL in this video, sorry, but I also got rid of Seaside Stranger. The reason why I got rid of it, because I started reading it a little bit and I thought it was weird because the two main characters don't really have a specific reason why they start liking each other. I felt like the reasons was really like shallow. There's no reason. I didn't feel the connection between those two characters. And also, one thing that really irked me is that they look so young, like really young, and they also like are thinking a lot of like sexual thoughts, and they also get intimate as well. And I'm like, yeah, they're supposed to be like in college or something, I think, but they're really young looking. Like they're just drawn really young. And I know it's I don't know if it's fine, but I think it's a bit weird for me personally to see like young looking characters in an intimate setting personally, and it just made me feel a bit icky. So that's why I ended up getting rid of it. I hope Zoe, who I ended up giving it to, enjoys it though, but personally I didn't really want to continue reading it. So yeah, that's why I got rid of it. Sorry for all the BL lovers at the moment. I'm getting rid of so much BL, sorry. And another one I got rid of was Secrets of the Silent Witch. I'll put the picture up here. I didn't enjoy that one as well because I thought it was a little bit boring. It's basically about a witch who is she has difficulty speaking, but she's like really, really powerful. And then she gets sent undercover to protect this prince or something. So, and then be undetected, obviously, because she seems really like weak and shy. So people won't suspect that she is like the secret secret witch that is like really powerful so that she can stay undercover. So it kind of starts from there. I personally didn't find it like that amazing. I felt it was a bit boring, so yeah, I ended up getting rid of it. I heard the light novel was really good though, so I was a little bit disappointed that the manga was crap. And the next one I got rid of was I want to be a I want to be a receptionist in this magical world or something like that. I'll put the picture here. But I also found that one a little bit not as enjoyable as I wanted it to be. I personally found the relationship between the two weren't like that great. I also felt like the guy character kind of, it hints that he likes the main character girl, but it doesn't really show why he likes her. He just likes teasing her and bullying her basically, and there's quite like a lot of time skip between them growing up in the school, so you don't really see any like relationships developing during that time because there's so much like there's only bits and pieces of them growing up, and then now they've graduated and they're starting their real life jobs and things like that. And I read the first 2 volumes and I didn't really enjoy it. It was okay, so I ended up giving it away to someone I hope will enjoy it more. I know a lot of people have really liked it and enjoyed it, but for me it was like okay, so I'm not going to collect any more of it, so I decided to just get rid of it. And then the last series I got rid of was number 6, another BL, sorry, but this one is more like a dystopian BL, so it focuses on more of the dystopian factor, and then there's like a slight BL romance on the side. But it's basically about a dystopian society called Number 6, and there is this guy, I forgot his name, sorry, I don't remember a lot of names, but it's a guy who's part of that society and he's living really well, but then later he finds this guy comes into his home, and his nickname is like Rat or something, or Nezumi, which is rat I think in English. He ends up harboring kind of a fugitive in his house, and then when that gets found out later, he is about to be like punished or something, but then he ends up running away outside of Number 6 and then realizes that there is a world outside Number 6 that is basically crap, it's suffering, it's kind of like the slums area, and he realizes that his world is not as bright and shiny as he thought it was. And then there's like this kind of infection that's going on within Number 6 that is basically killing people, so he's on the mission to try to find out what's happening there, and then he ends up teaming up with Nezumi, who's the rat guy, and then they end up trying to like basically make their way through this society and also try to save his mom or something like that. I don't exactly remember the main plot point of it, but it's basically a dystopian society and they're trying to like overrule this dystopian society like most dystopian films and movies are about. Yeah, personally I like tried reading it and then I stopped reading it, and then I tried reading it again, and then I was like interested in it, but then I never got further than like 3-4 volumes. And I was like, what is going on? Like, seems interesting, but I just can't bring myself to constantly read it and like want to read it or be motivated to do it. So I was like, you know what? I've tried like twice now. I don't think I'm going to ever get down to reading it till the end. So I ended up selling it. I know people really like it, and they also really like the relationship between the two characters. I personally didn't like it. I had like 8 volumes and I just got rid of it. So yeah. So these are all the series that I ended up getting rid of or am getting rid of. And obviously some I've already gotten rid of. I have all of these up on my Vinted, so definitely check it out. And if you're interested in getting some of these volumes that I've talked about, definitely check that out. I'm selling them for very cheap because I just want to get rid of them. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope I didn't offend too many of you. I'm sorry if you enjoyed any of these series. I mean, I'm really happy for you if you enjoyed them, so don't even need to feel sorry about me not enjoying them. I'm just glad that you enjoyed them. But yeah, I hope you liked this video, and definitely give me a comment down below on what you thought about any of these series, if you loved them, if you didn't enjoy them that much. I always happy to hear all your differing opinions. I personally love hearing about what you guys enjoy and what you also didn't enjoy. So yeah, definitely let me know down below and give me a like, comment, and also subscribe if you haven't already. I've got loads of manga content coming your way. Yeah, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!